How would you feel if a world idol, known for his strict personality in serving military duty, turned out to be harboring such a touching big secret? And OP recently revealed the story that has not been heard publicly about BTS's Jimin. This story is not about Jimin's performance on stage or his intense training in the Fire Direction Center unit, but rather about how he treated the most significant person in his life, his mother, during his military service. How much does a child love his parents? And is it possible that, in the midst of all the busyness and pressure in the military, a Jimin can still give his full attention to his family, especially to his mother? The OP, who is known to be close to Jimin, decided to expose a very surprising fact. The entire salary Jimin received during his military service was given entirely to his mother. Not only was this action shocking, but also the reason behind it, which moved many to tears. But why did Jimin do this? And how did this affect his family life? As a member of BTS, Jimin has long been known for his kindness and gentleness. However, in each interview, she rarely discusses her personal life, especially about her family. Military life is often the focal point for fans, with everyone wanting to know how Jimin lives his days in the barracks, practicing his martial skills, and carrying out his duties in the Fire Direction Center unit. However, behind it all, there is a very personal and emotional side of Jimin. When news of Jimin giving his entire salary to his mother spread, many people wondered, what prompted him to do that? How did someone known as a world-class idol, who must have earned far beyond military pay, decide to still pay homage in this form? An OP, who said he was quite close to Jimin's personal life during the draft, shared a story that stunned everyone. In a lengthy post that soon went viral, OP revealed that Jimin often talks about his mother lovingly. Despite being busy with military duties, Jimin was always looking for ways to keep in touch with his mother, often sending short, thoughtful messages whenever there was free time. OP also revealed that Jimin once said, "What I've done so far is nothing compared to what my mother has done for me." However, the most shocking revelation came when the OP claimed that Jimin secretly gave his entire military salary to his mother. Without any public announcement, no praise or spotlight, Jimin chose to hand over every penny he received to the woman who had raised him. Why? The answer lies in the long story of Jimin's family struggle. Before joining BTS and becoming a world superstar, Jimin grew up in a simple family. Although not much is known about his family life before his debut, the stories of how Jimin worked hard since childhood to pursue his dreams as a dancer and singer show that his family was not a wealthy family. Behind his success, there were great sacrifices from his parents, especially his mother, who always supported his dreams even though sometimes their financial condition did not allow it. When Jimin joined BTS and began to gain fame, he never forgot his family roots and sacrifices. And now, while serving in the military, where salary is nothing compared to his income as an artist, Jimin still chooses to give everything he receives to his mother. It is a form of deep respect and gratitude that has touched the hearts of many people. Many people may think, why is this so touching? Jimin is a successful celebrity who certainly has a tremendous income from his career as a member of BTS. However, this action is not about the amount of money, but rather about the intention behind it. In Korean culture, respecting and caring for the elderly is a highly valued value. By giving his military salary to his mother, Jimin showed tremendous respect, not only as a child, but also as someone who always remembered his mother's struggle for him. This action touched the hearts of many people because, amid the glitter of the entertainment world and celebrity lives that are often far from the reality of the average person, Jimin still shows humility and respect for his family. He didn't forget where he came from, and he chose to express his love and gratitude to his mother in a simple but meaningful way. After OP shared this story, the response from fans and netizens was amazing. Many could not hold back tears when reading the story. Some comments stated that they never expected that Jimin, known for his toughness on stage and in the military, had such a gentle and loving side. Fans also felt inspired by his actions, and some even shared their personal stories of how they too were moved to be more respectful and considerate of their parents after hearing Jimin's story. However, as with any big story, there are also some controversies that arise. Some netizens questioned the validity of the OP's claims. They wonder, Is it true that Jimin gave his entire salary? Is it possible that this is just a story exaggerated by fans to show Jimin's kindness? There is no official statement from Jimin or his agency regarding this, and this makes some people doubt. However, despite the controversy, many prefer to believe that this story is true, as it corresponds to the character of Jimin, who has been known to be loving. In addition, some parties also question why the OP decided to reveal this personal secret. Why should such a personal story be made public? Is this a form of support, or is it a violation of Jimin's privacy? Even so, most fans still appreciate this story as an inspiration from which they can learn a lesson. The story of Jimin giving his entire salary to his mother during his military service may be just one of the many acts of kindness he does without the spotlight. However, this act touched the hearts of many because it showed another side of a world superstar, a person who, despite being at the peak of fame, still values his family and remembers the sacrifices that have been made for him. It's not about how much money he gives, but how much respect and affection he shows. Jimin's actions teach us that, behind all the glamour and fame, there are small but meaningful things we can do to show our love to the most precious people in our lives. Jimin has shown his deep humanity through simple but meaningful actions. Fans around the world felt the emotional vibes of this story, which moved the hearts of anyone who read it. Seeing someone so famous and successful, but still humble and full of love for his family, impressed many people. In fact, Jimin's fans who have been following him for a long time are not surprised. They have known Jimin for a long time as a person who is attentive and cares about the people around him. However, what makes this story so powerful is how Jimin keeps this stuff so tight-lipped, never showing it off or discussing it in interviews or social media. It is not a question of seeking recognition, but of the sincere act of a child who wants to show gratitude to his mother for having fought so hard for him. Over the years, although Jimin rarely discussed his personal life in detail in public, he never covered how important his family was in his life. Most notably, her mother is often cited in interviews as one of the people most instrumental in shaping who she is today. From the difficult times when he was still struggling as a trainee to when BTS became known around the world, Jimin always made sure that his success was also a success for his mother. In an interview, Jimin once said that one of his dreams is to make his parents proud, and that dream has been achieved more than he imagined. However, fans never knew how much personal sacrifice Jimin made to honor his family, especially his mother, until this story was revealed. Many felt that Jimin's actions were a reflection of Korean culture's deep respect for family and parental sacrifice. In those cultures, giving something back to parents after achieving success is considered a great sign of respect. Jimin has shown that even though he is at the peak of his career, he still upholds the family values and traditions that he learned from childhood. Not only fans and netizens were touched by this story, some of Jimin's military colleagues were also reported to be amazed. Although Jimin was known as a quiet and disciplined person during his military service, it turned out that he also inspired many of his fellow soldiers with his actions.